Rockport was senior heavy, correct?
Heck yes, we were loaded. That was it. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Yeah, I know. No, I remember that. I went to one of the games that they had over in Corpus at the Hooks, and then the season was canceled. And I remember thinking, God, this was getting over senior heavy with a lot of great baseball players. Wow, it happens that we will get them.
Yeah.
Pirate fans, welcome out to a another episode number 2 of Wednesday Pirate Podcast. So I renamed it Pirate Podcast because on Wednesdays we're going to start having now quite a few podcasts. We usually have baseball, softball, basketball just ended for us, but we also have soccer for the boys and girls. And so we usually try to schedule 4 or 5. Hopefully we can get powerlifting in here, and then we've got track season just around the corner. So we'll have a few podcasts on Wednesday where we'll talk Rockport sports and about our athletic program. But for tonight, on the screen, you see the head coach and his assistant coaches for our baseball program here. And so we're going to be talking baseball here. And on the screen, it's our head coach, Rene Silva. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, coach. A little cold outside. I'm going to have to get up in the morning at about 4 o'clock to go out. So I'm not looking forward to that. But that's tomorrow morning. Tonight it's warm in here. We'll talk a little bit of baseball. And on the screen, coach has his assistant coaches for the 2025 season. Start down here in the bottom left, I think, and that's Coach Masch. Coach, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Coach, for coming back on. Coach has been on a couple of times here with us. And then we've got some, and then we got up on the top there, Coach Flores. Most of you guys know Coach Vince Flores. Coach, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Glad to
Thank you.
be on.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you for coming on and spend some time. Then we have 2 new coaches here on staff. They've been here all year. But first time I'm going to talk to him, Coach Ganceres. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you for coming on. And then Coach Dacy. Coach, how you doing? Is that? Oh, I'm sorry. The other coach, Coach Lagueux. Coach, how you?
Yes,
My
doing
apologies.
really well. Thanks for having us here.
Absolutely. Coach Dacy May joining us here. He's getting off soccer practice. So these are our coaches, and we've got one more that's going to be coming on here in a few minutes. So guys, thank you for coming on and spending some time. So we want to talk excited. The 2025 season has already started. These games, the Pirates were scheduled for a tournament, but with the weather coming up, that's probably not going to happen. But we'll talk to Coach Silva about that. But I do want to talk to the coaches first, give them an opportunity to introduce themselves here and talk a little bit about their responsibilities. So let's go to Coach Masch. Coach, you've been here for quite some time with us. I definitely know you over the years here for baseball, but for the people of the community that don't know who you are, kind of introduce yourself and what is their responsibilities here for baseball.
My name is Jonathan Masch. I coach the catchers. This is my 8th year with Rockport. I try and work with our hitters and our catchers.
And Coach, how long have you been coaching baseball?
8 years, all of it done here in Rockport.
Yeah, that's great. We've you've seen a lot of success here with us here. This baseball program has really gotten better. Every time I talk to people about baseball, I tell them, because I do the podcast, I've been following this team for like the last 2, 3 years consistently, and this is a good team. It's a great program that has been in the playoffs the last couple of years. We've gone to the third round, I think, and we've been there in a tough district too, with Beeville and Sinton and Calhoun. Those teams are always good. So for us to be able to do battle with them, beat them, and get ourselves in the playoffs consistently says a lot about where this program is right now and where it's going to be in the next few years, this year and the next couple of years. We'll go to the next coach, Coach Flores. Most of you guys know him here, but I'll have him introduced. For those that don't know him, Coach, kind of introduce yourself and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Coach Flores. First, be doing middle school baseball. First time being able to coach baseball in a long time. Been around the program a lot the last 8 years, and getting to be around my passion growing up. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, Coach, thank you've done great. I know you know a lot about the baseball, and that's our middle school there. And to have you over at that middle school, that's really what for me where it begins. It begins in youth. before school, middle school, what they learn there, and then they bring those talents up to the sub varsity and varsity. Definitely want to pay attention a lot to that middle school and see what they're going to be able to do this year. Hopefully, people will follow and see our live streams when we get out there. That's the future. They'll be up on varsity in a couple of years, so definitely want to talk about our middle school as well. And then of course, a new coach on staff this year and here at Rockport, Coach Lagueux. If you want to introduce yourself and how long have you been here at Rockport? I think this is your first year. And how long have you been around the baseball programs?
Thanks. Yes, this is my first year here in Rockport. My wife and I came from the Katy, Fort Bend, Sugarland area in June. And so we're still getting to know the community and all of the festivals that we have on all the various months and weekends. And we think it's great to not just visit Rockport, but now to live here as well. This is my first year coaching baseball. I've been a coach on several other sports, basketball, football, soccer. But I was a player and look forward to being around those high energy guys that we call baseball players. They're always up to something.
They are. We got some good ones this year. I tell you, I've been following them since they were about maybe 9th, 10th grade. Some of them since 9th grade, some maybe the last 2 years. But like I said, this program is great. And welcome to Rockport. Yeah, it's a great town. I've been here when I was younger. I thought about moving, and then I said, man, why would I move? Everything I want is here. I feel comfortable here. We got great restaurants. I love seafood. So why leave Rockport? The beach is here. We got festivals here. Just a great place to live. People that come and visit usually say, they come back and they love it here when they visit it and they like to stay. So welcome to the community of Rockport. We're glad to have you this year. And then we got Coach right in the middle of the bottom here. Coach got Ganceres. Coach, talk to us a little bit about yourself. Introduce.
Yes. All right. Yes, I'm Coach Ganceres, Joseph Ganceres. From Beeville, came over here with Coach Joseph. This is my first year coaching baseball and with Coach Silva coaching baseball. Honestly, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm excited. I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself over there, so I'm laughing. But I'm excited for the season. We got a bunch of good guys, and our goal is to win the district. Yes, sir.
Absolutely love to hear that. Well, welcome to the community of Rockport. I can honestly tell the new coaches here. I've heard nothing but good things. Obviously, we've met Coach Souza a couple of times, and I followed his dad when he played football. And one thing I told him, because we have another podcast and we watch football, the one thing I said, Coach, to about 2 years ago, I said, wherever the Sousas go, the one thing I've noticed about them is they win everywhere they go. Everywhere they've ever gone, those guys win. And then they end up coming here, never thinking that when I made that statement that they would be here, but definitely met up with Coach Eric Souza, and he's great. I'm glad he's here, but I've heard nothing but great things about the coaches. I told Coach Silva last week on the podcast, you go out to the community, everyone's happy. And that's great. Everything I've ever heard about the coaches here, it's been nothing but positive. So hopefully you guys will stick around for the foreseeable future, and we'll build something great here with all our programs and get deep in the playoffs. That's always been the plan from day one. So I think we got great coaches. So let's talk a little bit about our varsities. I kind of went with Coach Silva last week about the varsity roster, but Coach Masch with the JV. If you want to, if you have your roster, you can definitely call us out and let us know who's there. If not, just talk to us a little bit about the JV. What do we have looking forward to your team coming up this year?
There we go. Yes, sir. I think we have 14 on the JV right now. Quite a few pitchers, hitters. I mean, we've got some good players on the JV, and I think they're really going to help push our varsity, because these kids are fighting to try and get up to the varsity. And I think with them on the varsity's heels, it's going to make the varsity better. The varsity, if they're not to par, they can flip flop at any moment, and everyone knows that. And it really keeps the JV, the kids working hard, freshmen included, trying to get to that level. But it really pushes the JV to get there.
Coach, is it so? There's just the JV. Is there a freshman team this year?
Yes, sir. There's a freshman. We have 3 teams. Yes, sir.
Wow. So the numbers are good. Then we're able to fill up 3 teams. That has been the case here the last 2 years. I've been kind of every time we start the school year off, and we talk with the coaches, the numbers, it looks like, have been going up quite a bit every year. So that's good. The kids are coming out wanting to play baseball. We want all the kids to come out and play sports, all those that want to contribute and be part of the team. So definitely for 3 teams, our numbers are good there. And so is most of the JV, is it, do we have a lot of freshmen up on that JV this year?
No, sir. I believe we don't have any freshmen. It should be all our sophomores and juniors. Our freshmen, I think, is a true freshman team,
Good.
with the exception of our varsity, which has people from every grade level.
Good. And have you guys already played a game, or when does that start if you haven't already?
JV started their season last night with Port Aransas. Rough start, but the kids played well. We just a couple breaks, and you could see the kids were nervous for the first game out, and they played like it, but I think they got a good core group of kids that will do very well this season.
That sounds good. And coach, I would ask you, so I mean, the expectations always to win district, but when you start off in the non-district, or as you get going, what do you want to see from this JV? So what do you preach to them when they come in? Obviously, playing time. I always hear coaches say playing time is the most important thing for the sub varsity, right? The many games as we can get in, they get better. But for you, what are you preaching to the kids as far as what you want to see from them at the start of the season?
I want to see them get better every game, and learn something, hopefully new every game. These first couple games are non-district and tournaments, and that's really the time to really start getting to their best, so that by the time they hit district, they are at their best and can play to their best capability. But really teaching them, hopefully, stuff they don't know, some of the small stuff, the fundamentals, and how it's done on the varsity. I try and run it kind of the same as Coach Silva would do, and the expectations should be kind of the same, I think, and get them rolling, hopefully performing. I encourage them to go watch the varsity, see how they carry themselves, see how they do things, and strive to be like them, if not better.
And coach, when do the JV they play their games? What days do they play their games?
They will be on Thursdays. The freshmen and JV will play on Thursdays. Talking about district tournaments, will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, so definitely for the community of Rockport, like I said, we definitely invite all to come out during the baseball season. The weather's a little cold this weekend, but it's going to get better as the season progresses. So when it's beautiful out, definitely come on out. We definitely want to pack our stands. It's in the works now. If you haven't been out there, it's they're building new stands. It's gonna have a press box, so it's gonna look a lot different this year than it has in the past couple of years. So I'm excited about seeing the final product. But definitely come on out and support our teams. The varsity plays on Tuesdays and Fridays. The JV and freshmen will play on Thursdays. So definitely like to see a lot of people come out on Thursdays, also supporting our future Pirates. That's our junior varsity and our freshmen. Coach Lagueux, I'll go to you next. What do the numbers look like for our freshman team?
We suited up 12 players for a game in Port Aransas last night. Our guys got off to a fast start with 4 runs in the first inning, and then maybe cooled off a little bit. So they were excited. They played hard, and we're just able to evaluate in game situations and get as many boys at bats and fielding time as possible.
And what's the next game for the freshmen?
Well, we were very much looking forward to playing this weekend across 3 days. Looks like the weather had a different idea for us. So I think we'll be playing next week, but I can't tell you. I just came off of basketball, and we had a playoff game and got home at about 12:30 last night. So I'm still making that transition from basketball to the baseball schedule. And the next time we'll talk, I'll know more about my schedule.
Absolutely. And I saw that. I was when I saw the score, we've had Coach Thompson on too, and I thought, man, we were close. We battled though. We battled. That was good. I wanted to get out of the first round. We've been stuck on that first round for a while, but definitely we battled, and that was a good game last night, our basketball playoff game. Coach, what's your expectation? What are you telling the boys here? What do you want to see from them as they continue to get better? But what's the overall expectation that you tell the boys, look, this is the goal, this is where we got to get to?
Exactly. So I can tell you, having coached some of these same boys in basketball, that we have some athletes. We have boys that I've got two that played football, they wrestle, they power lift, they play basketball, and now they're into baseball while doing track at the same time. But at the same time, they tell me, Coach, baseball is my number one thing. So I'm really looking forward to having those boys develop and practice like the JV and see how the varsity practice and mix it up with them because some of them have aspirations of being on those higher teams as soon as possible. So we're going to work on fundamentals in the field. We're going to work on being aggressive at the plate, and we're going to work on managing our outings as pitchers and really just being as aggressive and as violent in our pitching motion as we can learn how to be.
Absolutely. I love that. And again, to the community, this is our freshman coach and Coach Masch. We talked to our JV. They play on Thursdays. So definitely when I can get a schedule, when they email a schedule, it'll be out on our network. But we encourage and invite everybody to come on out, not just to the varsity games, but to our sub varsity as well, as that's our future. You definitely want to see what we're doing at that level. We definitely are going to talk a lot about them here on the network throughout the baseball season. And hopefully at times I've asked the coaches that if they ever want to come out, we don't have a scheduled date for our sub varsity or middle school, but they can send me an email or text me if they want to come on after a game. They want to talk about a player. If a player wants to come on, definitely we will make time, bring them on here on the network live, and let the coaches talk about the performances of their players. This is the future, so we definitely want to put eyes on these programs just like we will our varsity this year. Looking forward, Coach Masch and Coach Lagueux, to the season. Definitely, we've got the numbers there, and hopefully we continue to grow every practice, every game. And once we get into district, winning district would be great, but I know the goal is always to win district, but it's just to continue to get better every practice, have these guys learn the game and get them prepared and continue to watch them grow every year until they graduate. So definitely good luck this season. And I know we're going to do well. For the middle school, we have Coach Flores on right now. Our other coach is just coming off a soccer practice, so he's not on now. But Coach, I'll give you the floor. What do the numbers look like for middle school? I don't think you guys have played a game yet.
No, we're not going to start till right after spring break. But the early numbers I got, we got about 40 players coming out for, seventh and eighth grade, maybe more, So there's a good chance to get to look, see what we got. More numbers is okay. But the guys that I'm seeing so far, looks like we're going to have a pretty good bunch coming up compared to the last 8 years. I'm excited about it. I mean, I've seen the last so many groups. I'm like, oh, we got some ball players now, and I like it. I really enjoy it.
We've seen, talking the last couple of years, we've talked, and I streamed some middle school, and they're in high school now, but there's some talent that's kind of like where we want to focus a lot on too, is that middle school. And I believe, Coach, they play on Mondays. Am I correct?
It's Mondays. I know it might be a little bit different this year where nothing's finalized yet, but there's not that many middle schools out there playing baseball, so we just got to go try to grab as many as we can.
That is true. We're very lucky to have a baseball middle school program here. I think it's helped us. I really do, Coach.
Yeah.
I think when we talk middle school and you see some of these players at development, I mean, our youth programs, play such a vital role. Those coaches that coach down there at that level do a great job with our little league program. But then they get to middle school to have that 2 year to be able to play school ball, organized ball, to understand what it's going to take. I think it's a little different when you play school versus at the league. And so if they're able to get it's seventh and eighth grade and play in that type of atmosphere with coaches, high school coaches learning, you probably run a program similar to what Coach Silva in Varsity. They're seeing a lot of that stuff. Really helps them. And Coach Flores, I tell you, I think where Rockport baseball has been consistently good, beating good teams, and then getting ourselves consistently in the playoffs. I think a lot of that has to do with the middle school program and what we've been able to do at that level with our boys, preparing them when they get into freshman, junior varsity, and then what you see on varsity. So, man, that's great. I think it's important. Definitely want to focus and put a lot of eyes this year on our middle school to talk to the coaches and see what they're doing at that level. What's your expectation for these boys? What do you want to see overall from them? What are you telling them when they come in? This is we've got to get better every year, but what's the message to the boys?
You know, just doing the basics. You know, just playing ball right now. We don't just treat the game right. First of all, treat the game right. Do the little things. If you work hard, good things are going to happen, especially in baseball. You know, I believe sometimes too much in baseball karma, but hey, treat the game right. It's going to work out.
Absolutely. And I love the numbers. I mean, 40 something, probably even
there's a lot of guys out signed up. So
that's a lot of players. So, Coach, I knew in basketball, I don't know if baseball does this, but so when I was talking to Coach Gonzalez, and I hope I'm getting this correct because I didn't write it down, but I was just, it was reminding me. So he said there was like a C team in basketball. He said, the kids, so we don't really put anybody like, okay, if you didn't make the team, you're still playing, you're still in the system, is what I understood, where you continue to develop and get better. Is there anything like that going on in middle school for baseball?
that's probably what we end up kind of doing. We'll try to do the best. Like I said, it doesn't start to the middle of March, so we still got time. But yeah, we can do something. But we can put a lot of baseball guys. We're gonna put a lot of guys on the field and give them reps. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I love the numbers. I think that's the participation is great, and being able to have that many. I wasn't expecting 40 something, but when you said that number, I was like, wow, that's a lot of kids that want to play baseball, which I think is good for Rockport baseball. So definitely looking forward to a great season from the middle school. And again, throughout this podcast, this is Rockport's podcast, so you'll definitely every Wednesday we'll be talking baseball here with Coach Silva, and in that process, we'll be also discussing the middle school with the sub varsities and letting the community know what's going on, giving them updates on games and just the process that's going on with our junior varsity, our freshmen, and our middle schools. Coach Masch, I'd like to come back to you. So you're also the hitting coach and the catchers for varsity. I'd like to ask you, last year, obviously, Isaiah Elizondo, a kid that made varsity his freshman year, graduated, but he was kind of like the catcher. He's not here anymore. So we've got to, I saw Gruber in there, but what can you tell us as far as the catchers and who do we got that behind this year?
Gruber should be our catcher. Gruber was with us as a freshman as well, which was a good thing. He had a chance to learn from Isaiah, and I think Isaiah really helped him out. Gruber's getting better every day, which that's what I asked from him. He's listening to everything we ask, and I think he's really trying to be the leader that we expect him to be. As a catcher, you got to see the whole field. It's the only position that really does, and he is leading out there every day. I think he's doing the things correctly, and he's even helping our other catchers. We might have Reed Snyder as a catcher. You got Luke Brown, Stock, Bandy, and Rene. Those are catchers all the way down to the freshman team. Gruber takes his time and goes out of his way to help the younger kids. He knows we've always had pretty good catchers through here, and he's doing his best to help them along the way as well.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that last year. He did catch a little bit when Isaiah was injured or taking some time to rest. Definitely, I'm glad to hear too that they take that time to help these younger players as well, because you want to see that development, so that when Gruber graduates, you got someone just right there waiting to fill in the spot. So definitely good to hear that. Let's talk a little bit about the offense coming in this year. For me, I knew, and I talked to Coach Silva last week about the pitching. I thought that was huge. I knew Sean Howe was going to come back. I saw some things from Evan Richardson, the freshman last year, that really impressed me. I've seen Oakman coming back now, and I know he pitched a little bit. So I know pitching wise, I think we're good, but on the hitting part, I'm not really sure. I know Reed was young last year. Jackson Cowan was another one that impressed me last year. He was a freshman when he played varsity. What can you tell us about the offense? With losing Isaiah and losing Gibson, 4-year starters, obviously there's some holes in the offense, but Sean Howell is back. What can you tell us about the offense and the hitting for the Pirates this year?
Yes, sir. Losing those guys they were a big part of our lineup. The guys coming up though that have been wanting the opportunity, I think they're stepping up. Sean's hitting the ball well. Gruber's hitting the ball. Gruber and Cowan, we're both freshmen on varsity, and if I recall correctly, I think their first hits were against Sinton in district. And I mean, it's a good way to break in. They've seen the pitching, and it's helped them really adapt. The kids are really taking the next step, and I think they're just now starting to break through when they're going to be their best. They're buying into the system, and they're doing the job that they need to do to produce runs, to put the ball in play, and hit for average.
That's awesome. I think someone hit a home run. I don't know if it was Austin.
It was Sean Howell.
John Howe.
Yes, sir. He at Toloso Midway.
Yeah, I read about that. I was like, wow, man, that's great. Yeah, and there's some young guys there, and like I said, I seen some underclassmen, some big boys. I saw them last year. Not sure about all their names, but I know we had some size in there. And then, of course, like Coach talks about getting in that weight room. The one thing that was impressive that a lot of people, when Coach Silva said this last week on the podcast about Sean, was he is a power lifter. And I don't think people really realize just how strong he really is, but he does a lot of that powerlifting workout. So definitely he's got some power. Both we've seen what he can do on the pitching side, but now you're seeing it on the offensive side as well. Coach G, if you don't mind me calling you that, let's talk a little bit about the outfielders. Last year, I got Dawson Phillips, I think played center, if I'm correct, and Dawson's got a lot of speed. Blake Garcia was another one that was really super fast out there left field. He's now graduated. What can you tell us about the outfield and what we got out there this year?
Well, we have Dawson. He's coming back. Yeah, we have Dawson. He's coming back. It's his first day in practice was today. Our left field. Who we have in left field today? Let me see. We have Reed switching out there. We have Oakman switching out there. There it is. You're good. We're getting feedback. I don't know if you heard it. Fry's been stepping up. He's a freshman, so he's been doing really good out there. And Nate Garcia, he's coming from basketball as well. So we're going to be have a good rotation out there of guys coming in and out.
Yeah, Nate. So there's still some speed out there. Dawson covers a lot of area out there in the center field. So having him back is going to be huge for us out there. And what are you preaching to the boys out there as far as the outfield? I know one of the things, Coach, that I've seen over, because I love baseball, guys. Like when I was young, I loved baseball. I just wasn't no good at it. Yeah, I couldn't hit the ball. Like, I said this before, but when I played, I mean, I could play the fielding, but when the coach would call out the stats, in front of everybody, my stats were not very good. And so the second year playing baseball, I said, you know what, this is not my sport. So I'm just gonna have to pick something else. I'm not going to excel here. Still pretty young. So I found my passion in basketball. It came easy to me, and I played that the rest, played a little bit of soccer. But the one thing, Coach, that I've always saw about playing baseball, and I could be wrong, is errors. Errors, win and or can you can take an L easily with a few errors. In the outfield, what is something that you preach to the boys? Because to me, it's also not about errors, but it's just understanding the situation. I see a lot of baseball players that just kind of, and they're still very young, so definitely understand that. But situational, they should throw the ball here, and they don't, and a run comes in, makes the difference. What do you talk to your outfielders about understanding? Not just being athletic to be able to catch the ball, but just understanding the game, the situation, and making sure you get the ball in to the right position so that we can stop a run from coming in. Should that maybe make the difference for a win or a loss?
Yes, sir. We're telling them to make sure that they're knowing who to hit on their cutoff, right? We got to make sure that they can hit the right guy. If we got to make sure that we get under the ball and take our read steps at the beginning, because some of us, if there aren't any balls going to the outfield because we're striking guys out or we're getting infield grounders, and we can lose concentration out there. So we have to be in the game the whole time. The few times we played, I believe it was in Flower Bluff, and we had some drop fly balls. That was because we were in that twilight time, and we were even losing the ball from the dugout. We're like, where did that ball go? But once that sunset, we were able to see the ball. We're catching some fly balls out there. We got to make sure we're taking our read steps, like I said, and getting under the ball and not being too deep and not being too far. We have to be in that just right position.
That's awesome, Coach. And like I said, I'm excited about baseball this year. I've streamed the games myself and been out there to commentate the games, and I've been following up for 3 years, and I think maybe even longer. And I really got into it. And then I got to see the younger players coming up, and just started following them. And then we do interviews with them out after the game, and it was a lot of fun. And so I've seen the success that this program's had. I've seen the growth. And so, with you guys coming in now, preaching this stuff, definitely our junior varsity in good hands with Coach Masch, and then the middle school with Coach Flores, and then just the other coaches that have come in here. These boys, look at the coaches that we have here on the screen. We've got so many coaches on that. Our program is in good hands, and hopefully it'll continue to grow, and we'll hit the postseason again. District title would be great. No pressure, right? But we definitely have to get the district title. And to do that, we would have to beat the Sinton Pirates, and which would make me happy. I'm sure make a lot of people happy. We definitely want to beat the Sinton Pirates. I always say this. I got a lot of respect for them over there. They do a great job, but I want to be like those guys, right? I want Rockport to be like that. So, like the saying goes, to be the man, you got to beat that team. And so hopefully this year we're going to be able to compete and beat Sinton this year. But more importantly, winning a district title, getting back into the playoffs, going 3+ rounds in the playoffs would be great. So definitely looking forward to that. And again, we invite all of the community of Rockport. Definitely come on out Tuesdays and Fridays, especially the home games. The stands, the press boxes should be done here soon, so it'll look different. Come on out and take some photos, obviously, but support the Pirates, especially at home. You can sit back and watch the stream. But that's not where we want you. We want you here at the baseball field. I'm sure the players appreciate it, and it hypes them up when we pack, and it's packed and it's loud, and we're cheering for them. So every Tuesday and Friday, definitely come on out, support Pirate baseball, and then on Thursdays, definitely come out for our sub varsity, and then possibly on Monday. That schedule hasn't been yet finalized, but if they play on Monday, definitely come out. Middle school, those are our future. Definitely want to come out and support them as well. Coaches, thank you very much.
We have Coach Dacy. He came in just a while ago. He's sitting at Coach Silva's desk right now.
Okay, Coach Dacy, how you doing?
Unmute.
Yeah, I just there you go. So now
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Yes, Coach. So you're coming from soccer practice, obviously. I was told that, Coach, I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the community. So tell us a little bit about yourself, name, how long have you been in Rockwell? I think this is your first year. And how long have you been around the baseball?
I'm Coach Dacy. Moved here from New Mexico about almost 8 years ago. Started teaching here a couple of years ago. First year coaching here in the district, or actually in school. Been around baseball my whole life. Actually coached bunch of these kids at Tiger Field there for about 3 years. So I've gotten to know a lot of them. Back then they were shorter than me, and now a lot of them are taller than me. So it's kind of fun to watch them grow up and get big and strong and develop their baseball skills.
Well, Coach, I tell you, I mean, we're in good hands. I mean, look at the coaches that we have, the experience. I think we're in real good shape here. I think the boys are going to learn a lot. I didn't realize we had these many coaches coaching from our middle school all the way up, but we're definitely in good hands, and it really excites me for the boys to be able to have this much experience. Coach Silva's been doing it for quite some time, and to have his assistants who have been doing this, who have the passion for baseball. I think our boys are going to learn a lot this year and hopefully in the future. And look, baseball is in good hands. It looks good here in Rockport, right? Definitely the goal now is to compete for district titles and do all of that other stuff. Coach, I'd ask you, so how do you like Rockport so far?
I love Rockport. This is my forever home. So this is where I want to stay, and I just love it here. I love the people here. The kids here are great. I mean, every day since the first day of school when they found out us helping coach baseball, the middle school kids every day. When's baseball start? When's baseball start? So they're just excited, and I've been treated so well here, and everybody's so great. I just love it.
Yeah. How did you get involved in the Tiger Field coaching? How did that come about?
It's just hey, are you interested in coaching? Because I had my son playing, and it was like, yeah, let's do it. And then from then on, it's just addicted to coaching and helping the kids out and helping them grow as players and as people. And it's just fun to watch. And then that's what ended up getting me into teaching too, is just like seeing what impact you have on these kids and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, I think one thing that gets forgotten, one thing that we do on the podcast as we continue, going is talking about their performance on the field and what people see. Obviously, we want to get to the seniors this year and talk about them as much as possible, and then our future. But I think what gets lost and we try to bring back a lot is just the kid, the student. A lot of these kids, they do really well in the classroom that doesn't get talked about. They do a lot of work around the community that doesn't get talked about. And then also the leadership. We don't see the off-season workout. We don't see the grind that they go through like the coaches do, the work that's put in. To me, the podcast was built around not just to talk about what we see on the baseball field during the season, to give coaches and the kids the opportunity, and even a parent if they want to come on here, to talk about what they see, what you guys see in that weight room, that grind. I've heard kids that play injured, with a lot of pain, but still go out there and give it 100%. And I think those are the things that need to come out on the podcast to the community to see what these kids do. This is what I say. I say, coaches coach, players play. The community needs to come out and support. But that's our job. Coaches will do their job in coaching. The players will play the game. We need to come out and cheer. That's our responsibility. So again, come on out. The baseball season just started. Definitely want to see every home game packed and support our Pirate baseball. And then too, some of these games aren't even an hour. So 30 minutes, 40 minutes, take that drive. Definitely support us through the baseball season. Coaches, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Guys, the final word. Coach Silva, I need you to stay because I've got some questions for you. Coach Flores, I'll go to you first. Anything you want to add before we let you go?
Okay. No. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, Coach. And again, if you you guys, you or Coach D, they say everyone to come on. My email, gtsports6464@hotmail.com. Shoot me an email, man. We'll give you the space is yours. This is your platform. If you want to come out, talk about any of your players, anything you want to add, or you want me to post something, definitely send it to me, or we'll give you the opportunity to get on the platform to talk about our middle school players.
That'll be great. Thanks.
Coach Lagueux, I'll go to you next. Thank you for coming on. And anything you want to add before we let you go?
Just go Pirates. It's going to be a great season.
It is. Looking forward to the season. It's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to going out there and streaming a lot of these games, not just the varsity, but also our sub varsity and our middle school as well. Coach G, I'll go to you next. Anything you want to add?
Yes, sir. Next week we have our Battle of the Bay tournament from Thursday to Saturday. So come out and support. We'll have games all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come and watch varsity and JV. They'll be in Falfurrias on Tuesday night. Next Saturday, the freshmen will be in Portland for a doubleheader. So bunch of baseball next week. Let's go. Go Pirates.
Definitely go Pirates. And of course, come on out and support, especially our tournament here in Rockport. And then Coach Masch, I'll give you the final word if he's still on. Anything you want to add?
Yes, just hope everyone comes out and watches some good baseball this year. I think we're going to have a good team. With that new stadium being built behind us, I think it'll be awesome and get some good crowds out there.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely, Coach. And for you and Coach Lagueux, the same thing goes that I told the middle school coaches. If you guys ever want me to write something, definitely send it to me, email it to me. But if you guys want to come on anytime during the season, I want to talk about this player, you want to bring a player on, don't hesitate to send me an email, Coach, and we'll get you guys on. All right, coaches, have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Coach Silva, I'll leave it to you now. Thank you for bringing them on. Wow, Coach, I got to say, you got a staff.
Hey, I'm excited about these guys, man. We get to practice, and we have a practice schedule. Just give them like a quick rundown, and then they just take over. We break it down into segments, and they just break off, and I feel very confident whenever they're out there with their own position players, and it gives me a chance to say, just to breathe and say, hey, the kids are in good hands, and now I can focus on pitching, or I can focus on the infield, pickoffs, rundowns, all that stuff. And I know that the catchers are fine. I know the outfielders are fine. I know that like all the hitting stations are fine, because I do have great coaches out there.
Yes, you do. Coach Masch and Coach Flores, I definitely knew. But just the experience, I think, and the passion that these coaches here in just a short period of time, because we didn't have them on for a full hour. It was just a little quick couple of minutes here, but you could see the passion. I think our kids, what I got from this podcast and this short podcast that I did with them is, first of all, when I saw them, I was like, wow, there's a lot of experience there, but they all have passion. And so our kids are going to be coached. There's coaches here. They're going to be coaches from 7th grade middle school all the way to freshmen, to our junior varsity, to where you're at on varsity. Coach, this looks really good, something you put together. And I'm looking forward to these boys continuing to grow. I'm really excited. I was excited before the podcast, but just looking at these coaches and the way that they're talking, our kids got some good coaches. They're going to learn. There's a lot of passion there. And that really helps our kids continue to want to play and learn. And look at the numbers at middle school. My goodness, 40 something. That is a lot of kids.
Yes, sir. That's a lot of uniforms too. But at the same time, I try to keep as many kids that want to come out. You just don't ever know how they're going to bloom later in life. Some of them might have some growth spurts. Some of them just get stronger. Some of them, the light comes on and they understand the game better. But I'm excited because we did have a baseball camp in the summer, and I want to say we were close to about 40 to 50 participants that came out, and they were excited. And that put a smile on my face, because knowing that and seeing the outcome, I knew that there's talent coming up, and all we got to do is just mold it. And the exciting part about this is that I'm going to get to work with the junior high as well. And these coaches, everybody's going to still work with their position players. So everything that I want to teach is going to be said by my assistant coaches. So everything that they're going to learn in 7th grade is going to be, the same thing in 8th grade. So by the time they get to high school, they'll know how to pick up signs. They'll know what hit and run is. They'll know, pitching wise, the mechanics of doing it. They'll know what our philosophy is. And with that alone, once they grasp that, they can get stronger, better. And it's going to be a fun season this year and for years to come.
Absolutely, Coach. That's what excites me. Like I said, just following this program, knowing the younger kids that were coming in, what they were doing at the middle school, and what they were winning a lot of games about a year or two ago. I mean, I was watching them, I was talking to the coaches, and we're winning. There was more wins than losses, I can tell you that, from the underclassmen. And that's what was exciting me already with Sean coming back this year, with Evan Richardson showing a lot of skills as a freshman. I was like, wow, man, this stuff is looking really, really good. So it's the positive that you want to get out to the community so that they can get excited and come see. And also, hopefully, Coach, you'll have some of your players on from time to time, and we can also introduce them, and the community can also hear exactly what it is, what their expectation is for this year and beyond. Coach, I'd like to talk to you about your alumni game. I saw some photos there of some pictures. It was really, really nice. The alumni game is always big here. There's always people that come out and support our alumni game. Talk to us a little bit about this weekend and what took place here for our alumni game.
It was a fun day, man. We got blessed with sunshine, man. It was a great day to play ball. We had our alumni come out, and let me tell you, man, our alumni, they're pretty good, man. They put our boys to the test, and they were talking a smack, and they were backing it up, man. It was fun, and it was all in fun. We had a great time. Next year, hopefully, we're gonna add just a little bit more, like with the home run derby, add some other events, kind of like to build up to it. This year, I'm not gonna lie, I can't lie, man. As I was driving up there to the alumni game, I was telling my wife, I was going like, man, maybe if 5 show up or 6 show up, maybe we can mix them in. It's my first year. So then when I got there and I see like about 12 or 13 guys warming up, hitting the cages, I knew it was serious, man. When they said, Coach, is it our time to hit in the cages? I said, oh, it's on. And it was fun. And I was very blessed, and we were very blessed. The excitement that was out there. We had parents, we had, all the families there. And I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Savala from Savala Furniture. He came out there. He made a generous donation to the baseball program and to help us out with baseballs because they are expensive. And he came out and did that. Thank you very much, Mr. Savala. And it was great. I mean, I had a bunch of fun, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, Rudy, watched Rudy. I was a kid. I watched Rudy play. Mr. Zavala, Rudy Zavala, I saw him play baseball here for Rockport. He was a really good baseball player, very good baseball player. Then his brother, Johnny Zavala, and then his son. So the Zavalas have history here. They've all played for Rockport, a very talented baseball team, a baseball family, I should say. And so, yeah, thank you. It always comes out and supports the baseball program and other stuff that goes on here in Rockport. So we're very lucky to have businesses like that, families like that come back and still give back to the program. So thank you very much. And the alumni game was great.
Yes,
they take a lot of pride in that. And so next year will continue to grow. But yeah, I was going to tell you, Coach, you're going to have some players out there. Every year they come back out. And they're ready to come out and play. So it was good. I'm glad you had a great turnout. Let's now get back to some serious business here, Coach. And let's talk about last week. We talked about the pitchers. I want to talk a little bit about the infield. We had some players, some hoes there. We talked about the catcher. We had a kid at second base, Jordan Gibson, 4-year starter gone now, so we got to replace that. But what does the infield look like? I saw Reed Snyder play some third base last year, but what is it looking like from the left to the right?
Well, at third base, we're hoping to build very, very good competition between Reed and between Chris Oakman. And depending who's pitching between Evan, Sean, and even Reed and Chris, we might have some sort of a rotation going on there. I know Sean plays first base. He does an excellent job at first base, but we've also been, kind of experimenting with Sean and even Evan at third. I know that Jackson plays second base right now for us, but he's also shows some talent at shortstop as well. So really and honestly, right now they're just competing. And for me as a head coach, I'm very happy because now whenever I'm doing the lineup, or if I have like a specific pitcher or I need a sub pitchers, I now know that I can do it with confidence from switching our third baseman to short or a second baseman to short just because of the pitching rotation. I know sometimes there's coaches out there that once you switch one guy, they're in a bind because the next person up isn't as talented as a starter. Well, here in Rockport, I'm very blessed that they're all very talented and they work hard. I'm excited about that part. And at shortstop, we're looking at Evan and Sean and Jackson in there, and of course Reed's name goes in there as well. But and it goes back to that rotation. But I'm hoping to see if we could create a rotation between Sean and Evan, as just when one pitches, the other one plays short. And we do have a Jackson at second. I also have Caleb Shoppy. He's a sophomore, and he's one of our backup infielders, but he's very talented to play either second and short as well. And with that being in mind, whenever I have to warm up Sean or Evan, throughout the ball game, I feel very confident that I can bring him into the ball game and give us that 2 or 3 innings to where the Sean or Evan can warm up, or another infielder, Reed, can warm up to come into pitch before they come in. At first base, we have Cade Alston, and we got Oscar Solis. He is a transfer from Port Lavaca. And they've been working real hard at first base, and it brings out very good competition. And I'm excited. We also have Sean, of course, who plays first base, does a great job. And we have a sophomore named Jake Self, who's going to help us out of the outfield, but he also plays first base. So we have guys that can play the position, but we also have the guys that can rotate in and out, or just rotate to give us give that person a break to get to the bullpen, get warmed up, and then we can bring them back in.
Coach, you have a lot of options. I mean, I knew that coming in. I didn't know how many, but I knew what was coming. I'd seen the talent, like I said. So definitely that's great for a coach to be able to have all those options. And I think competition is good.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
competition going throughout. That's what keeps everyone on their toes. You keep fighting hard. You don't take a practice off, or you can't, because if you do, boom, the next guy don't take it there. He's got your position. So competition is great. I'm glad to hear that competition is there. That just because you played this position for the last 3 years doesn't mean someone can't take it from you. So that's good. It keeps the starters there ready and hungry. But those young guys, they're coming for your position.
Yeah, exactly. And at every practice, I always tell the guys, hey, lineup wise, nothing is etched in stone. Nothing is out there to say, hey, you're going to be this guy all the time. And with the competition that we've got, it's going to keep them on their toes. It's going to keep them working harder. And competition breeds, good good athletes, man. It's going to keep you on those toes. It's going to make you do the things right. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you're gonna stay focused. Absolutely, Coach. The kid Oscar that transferred from Port Lavaca, is he a senior or underclassman?
He is a junior. He's a junior. He plays first base. He pitches, and he's also been in the outfield. Again, a jack of all trades, like all the other kids. And that's, I think that's going to be one of our strengths, that we'll be able to not necessarily rotate, but for what the situation calls for, we're able to do that. And we're meshing good right now. The team is coming together, and they have to come together at a certain point, because right now they're just getting to know each other. We've got a lot of kids that didn't start last year. We got kids that are like first year varsity. We got to transfer in, but they're working on just meshing together, building that team unity. And let me tell you something, man. Once we hit it, I'm just waiting for that one game where we're just going to explode, man. And then it's going to steamroll. Hopefully it's going to steamroll. Hopefully it's going to lead to more wins. Bonding is there. They're going to be like brothers, very competitive brothers. And it's always about the team. And I preach this a whole lot, man. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about my win-loss record. It's not about Sean. It's not about Gruber. It's not about any individual. It's always going to be about us. Yep. And it's going to be about Rockport. And we want to make Rockport proud of us. And we want to get to those playoffs. And let's have that deep run.
Absolutely. I could tell you a lot of people, if not the whole community, already proud. Like I said, people come to play Rockport for baseball. I mean, it's no longer, if it was like this years ago, where we're going to go over there, it's going to have a good time. You got to come play Rockport. I don't care who you are. I've seen great teams come in here. I've seen it go extra innings. We were in a playoff with Robstown 2 years ago, I think it was here in game one where it went down to the wire. We had bases loaded. And I know that they were in the game. We went over their game too. And they had a hard time with us too. I mean, they won both games, but we battled, and that said a lot. We've been in the playoffs. We've been in that third round, and this has been consistent, right? So I know when teams come in, especially in district, they know what Rockport has. They know what we've had for the last couple of years. So they're going to come with their A game against us, and so we're going to have to be ready. And I do believe, Coach, that once that chemistry, mashes, when once it get together and it clicks, you're talking about that one game, we're going to take off from there because the talent is definitely there this year. So definitely looking for a great season. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming tournament. You guys didn't play on Tuesday. I think it was a bye week. Is that correct?
Can you repeat that for me, please?
This past Tuesday, did we play this past Tuesday?
No, sir. Actually, we were going to play somebody, but they backed out. So then whenever Porter Rances called, he had called me up and said, Coach, I'm not going to have all my varsity together because they're still in the basketball playoffs. And he goes like, I'm going to have part, JV, part varsity. So what I did with that game, I passed on that varsity game to the JV. So that way they could have a game because we're going to have a tournament. And then unfortunately the tournament got canceled. But this upcoming week, we're going to have our hands full. We're going to go to FAL. We're going to go to Falfurrias. I mean, they went deep in the playoffs last year. And then we're going to host our tournament. And we're going to be playing on Thursday 2 games, I believe, and then Friday 1, and then Saturday 1. So that's going to give us a total of about 5 games for next week. And the forecast shows sun. So hopefully we'll be able to get all those games in.
Yeah, this was going to be the Taft Classic here. But again, like Coach said, it got canceled due to the weather. We got some bad weather coming. It's already cold out there. We're going to get colder with it was windy and rain, so it was canceled. And then, of course, the boys will travel to Falfurrias on Tuesday. Coach, what do you know about Falfurrias here? Are they a pretty good team? I don't know anything about them.
Well, FAL, whenever the preseason rankings came out, they were in the top 15. And they were in the top 15. I think London was number 8, and they were like maybe number 12, 13 ranked in the state. So they've been coached well, before by Coach Salinas out there, and now Coach Esquivel, he's taken over the realm, the helm of it, and he does a great job, sir. I mean, FAL has always had tradition there. I remember playing back in the 80s, man, mid 80s to late 80s, and it was a big game for us in Robstown, going to play FAL. And that tradition there, continues. But we're also building a tradition here. And we're also trying to make a statement. And we're also trying to get to the state playoffs and make that deep run. So hopefully it's going to be a good matchup.
Absolutely. And that's Tuesday to be in Falfurrias. That's February 25th. And then that game starts at 7 p.m. And then that's next week on Tuesday. And then on that Thursday, it's our tournament, Coach. So we can hold off on that tournament. I know you'll be back on Wednesday. That'll be a day before the tournament starts, and then we'll get Coach's thoughts on that tournament. When you can get me the information on the bracket, Coach, if you could definitely email it to me. We're definitely looking to be there to stream those games. We'll see where our varsity plays, date and times. It's a Thursday through Saturday, so we're definitely looking to go out there. That'll be the first time that we'll stream some of our baseball games this year. It won't be the only ones, but that's when we'll start. So once Coach gives me the bracket, the playoff bracket for Rockport, we'll look at it, see what's available when we can come out, and definitely we'll stream it on our Pirates Cove, our sports network. That'll be on our YouTube channel. So again, we don't want you to sit around at the house and say, you know what, we're going to watch it there. Come on now. Coach talked about it's going to be beautiful. It's forecast to be beautiful. Definitely come on out. Spend some time out here at the baseball field and support our baseball program. The boys and the coaches will definitely love it. But if you're working, you're out of town, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle want to support a family member that plays, but you can't make it, that's why the stream's there for it. But definitely support us. Come on out. That's not this weekend. That's next weekend. It's our tournament here. That's a Thursday. So definitely I'll post it when Coach definitely sends it to me. Coach, thank you very much for coming out. Listen, I was impressed, Coach, with your assistants. I didn't know we had that many. I keep saying that, but I really was. I wasn't expecting the coaches, but the middle school came out as well. But I'm glad they all came out, Coach, because it gives the community an idea of where everybody's at. We have our middle school coaches coming on talking, plus our varsity, and then our head man. And that just kind of tells you in the show tonight, everyone's on the same page. The kids are hearing the same message. That is what you need. You need to build the culture. We've talked about the talent. We've talked about the talent, and it's there. Now it's about putting it together. And these coaches, with Coach Silva at the helm, is definitely doing their job of bringing it all together. And then we'll be competing for district titles. Hopefully, we'll bring one home. And then getting into that deep playoff run. So, Coach, thank you very much for inviting the board, the coaches come out. Really impressed with them, and I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
Well, we are excited for this upcoming week, and I'm very blessed to have these coaches, with me. We're still trying to mesh as well. They're trying to, get used to how I do, practices and my scheme, like for offense, defensive schemes. And they even have great ideas too, where I look at it, I'm going like, man, I never thought about it like that. So, hey, let's implement it. And it takes a whole coaching staff working together. And it's not just one guy. It has to be all of us working hard with the same goal, with the same dream, and just taking it every day. And I tell the coaches and I tell the players every day, if we get better every day, by the time district comes, we're going to be ready for every situation that happens. And I'm going to hold you up to whenever we beat Sinton. I'm going to hold you up to the fireworks, and even if they're just sparklers or just wave with the sparklers, I'll take you on it. Let's go.
Coach, the reason I said that was because I saw when I first started streaming, there was a softball game, and our softball girls over across the street, they played final game, and I think it was for district, and I think the girls. We played them. It was the final game before we went to the playoffs, and it was a packed house. I mean, it was so packed that I could not find at that time. I was in the press box, so I couldn't even find a place to be able to see the field. For at that time, I was using my phone. I couldn't put my stand. No, I couldn't even stream the game. There was so many people in the outfield and everywhere. And so we ended up winning the game. And afterwards, beautiful fireworks. They had the fire trucks, I think, out there. But I remember the fireworks. It was just a beautiful, beautiful setting for the girls at that time. Coach Reyes and the community was out there. And it just reminded me of just a celebration for the community, but for the girls, our coaches in the program, right? So I know it's something that when I talk to the boys, it's something that we've been trying for so long, and we've come close. Like that program is good over there, and I have a lot of respect for them, but I want to beat them. And so when you beat that, Coach, it'd be great. And then bringing a district title home too, Coach, because I don't know when the last time Rockport won a district title. I couldn't tell you. And so it's time. It's overtime. So definitely, hopefully, we can do that this year. But the talent is definitely there. Coach. And so you definitely came to a right place. You inherited a lot of talent, and now you just got to put it together with your coaches, and that'll take some time. But definitely looking forward to the season. And again, starting at next weekend, don't know the date and times, but we are looking to go up there and stream some of these games. So if you cannot make it to the tournament next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, definitely look for the dates. We'll let you know, and you can follow and support the program or baseball program through the Pirates Cove Sports Network, our YouTube channel. Coach, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It is going to be cold. Can't wait for warm weather to come back again, and we'll see you next weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You guys have a good one. Thank you, sir.